Recently, Greta Thunberg, along with 443 people in about 40 ships, approached Gaza to express solidarity with the Palestinians who have been fighting very valiantly for the last 2 years. Now, everybody knew that she will never be able to make it because Israel would intervene, and like last time, she made an attempt, or even before in 2010, when Turkey had sent a ship with relief material called Mavi Marmara. It was attacked by the Israeli forces, and 9 citizens were killed, all Turkish. So uh, we knew that Greta Thunberg will not be able to make it, but uh, the fact that she took the decision to go to Gaza was a very brave decision. So the decision itself by Greta Thunberg and friends, who included Nelson Mandela's grandson, was remarkable because at a time when no governments were opposing uh, Gaza actively, most of them were either silent or were passively supporting Israel. Only South Africa was an exception who went to the International Court of Justice, and then some other nations took positions against Israel. Only recently, because of the French initiative, Emmanuel Macron, some developed countries also decided to support Palestine and recognized it as a state. France, England, Canada, Australia, and some others. Most of the world was already in support of Palestine, and but they couldn't do anything to stop the war. The only country which could have stopped the war, United States, was actively supporting Israel, was scuttling any resolution being proposed in United Nations Security Council, and therefore uh, Israel very brazenly went around not only just attacking Gaza continuously for 2 years, but also stopping humanitarian aid from reaching there, including food, and created a situation where Palestinians in Gaza started dying of hunger. It was these starvation deaths which ultimately jolted the conscience of the white race, and one after another, number of countries then took a stand against Israel. So they have done it very reluctantly, too late, too little, and therefore, what Greta has done is commendable because she is known as a climate activist, but that she was concerned about the human rights situation in Palestine and was for the democratic rights of Palestinians to have their own state was not known to the people until she took a decision to come out openly in support of Palestine. This also shows that she is a very mature activist. She is not an activist who keeps herself confined to one cause, as you know most of the activists do. If they are fighting for environment, they don't worry too much about the human rights. But she is not that kind. She knows that environmental justice or climate justice goes hand in hand with justice in human society. You can't have climate justice and you can have and have injustice with human beings at the same time. So, in fact, all kinds of justice go hand in hand, and she has this deep understanding of the society and the nature and the larger nature, and that is why she was able to take this decision, and then many others got inspired by her to join the flotilla, the global flotilla, which was organized, and there were protests all around as the flotilla was stopped. They were arrested, they were sent to Greece and from a prison in Israel, and then finally deported to their homes. Uh, I mean, they were never expected to reach Gaza. Israel would have never allowed them to do that. But the very fact that they made this attempt is important, and and she deserves all the applause, all the praise for taking this brave decision. We only hope now that with the peace deal enforced by United States, where uh, prisoners who are still in custody of Hamas after the attack of 7th October 2023 will be swapped with prisoners in Israeli jails. 18,000 people have been arrested alone in this 2 years, the war against Gaza for 2 years. 7th October was just one day. It was not the beginning of the conflict between Israel and Palestine. In fact, Israel has caused much more damage to Palestinians in the past and also after 7th of October. There is no comparison. Just look at the number of deaths, number of people displaced, number of people in custody and jails, and you can see that this is an unequal fight. And for Palestinians to have survived this unequal fight, especially the one which has gone on for the last 2 years, is no mean achievement. I mean, with all the modern weaponry, Israeli army, Israeli defense force, backed by the United States, not just with money and arms, even with personnel, and all the moral support in the United Nations, ensuring that the resolution will be passed in the Security Council against Israel. Uh, Israel was launching its attacks full blown, and uh, uh, I mean the Hamas and their militant wing were handicapped because they depend on the outside supply, and that too, the weapons have to be smuggled into Gaza because there is no open passage to the outside world. The only passage, Rafah, which opens into Egypt, uh, you cannot have an open shipment of arms or anything like that. Therefore, everything had to be smuggled through tunnels underground of Rafah, and to keep the fight going, Hamas must have had very tough time in arranging the supplies, uh, both of the weapons as well as of basic material items, food and other things which would help them survive. So, under very difficult conditions, when even food was not available, to have gone on fighting and to have resisted the onslaught, the double onslaught of Israel and United States was remarkable. Finally, it appears as if the war has ended, although one never knows when Israel will start attacking Gaza again. But at least Trump has been successful in ending the war temporarily. Hopefully, the hostage swap will take place, and then Israel will have no reason to attack Iraq, because for the last 2 years, Benjamin Netanyahu has made it clear that his ultimate objective is to remove Gaza or West Bank or both from the map. They would not like to have a Palestinian country, even though more than 150 members of the United Nations, consisting of 193, I mean, uh, a huge number, almost three-fourths of the country, are in favor of a Palestinian state. But the audacity of the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was apparent when, in the United Nations, he was making a speech, to finish the unfinished task of finishing of Gaza from the map. But hopefully now Gaza is still there, and Hamas is in a strong position because it is negotiating. It is going to return the hostages. The Trump's peace plan is to disarm Hamas and to allow safe passage to the Hamas leaders to leave Gaza. But if we know of anything of the self-respecting Palestinians, the way they have fought for the last 2 years, I don't think Hamas is going to do that. It will continue to fight towards to till the end, till the last Palestinian is alive, but will never surrender. And the United States and Donald Trump need to understand this, that people have self-respect. I mean, a development without people doesn't mean anything. Even if Donald Trump wants to build a Riviera, and most shockingly, he wants to replace the Hamas rule by a technocratic rule, and he has placed himself as the head of the state. If this is not colonialism, then what is? So the colonial mindset of United States is operating. They want to control Gaza, but the self-respecting people of Gaza, the Palestinians, will never allow that. And we hope that it doesn't restart the war, because Palestinians have already suffered a lot of damage in terms of human lives, and the loss of their homes and other establishments. I mean, all the pictures that you see of people returning to Gaza are just debris all over the place. It will take a long time to rebuild their lives, but we hope that this will happen sooner than later. Thank you.